G'day, g'day, g'day. Welcome to another Crack the Sky Top 5s, looking at the ASX Exchange Traded Funds. So a daily horizon view, and the date is Monday the 11th of the 3rd, 2019. We had a bit of movement today, so there was a few things down. So mainly energy, consumer staples, and discretionary consumer index is down, so it's mainly brought the market down. We finished up at 6,263, and that's a total loss of 0.62%. Commodities, as mentioned, were a bit ratchet today, so pretty much the oil was down. Bit of interesting gold and silver and aluminium, but yeah, overall down. Not the best day today. So our top 5 percentage rises. As you can see, we had MNRS, which is our global gold miners. So we had our gold play. That was followed up by the VanEck Vectors gold miners. So effectively 2 ETFs do quite a similar thing. And then after that, we had our physical silver ETF. So seeing some mirroring what happened in the commodities, as mentioned before. So QAU is our BetaShares Gold Bullion ETF, which is hedged. So the gold is held in National Bank of Canada if you own shares in that ETF, and then followed up by some emerging markets action with China New. So that's a VanEck Vector China New Economy ETF. So our top 5 percentage falls. So UPB, that one is UBS IQ MSCI Asia Apex 50 Ethical ETF. So that's a mouthful. So that one tracks the 50 biggest stocks in the ethical index. So that's excluding tobacco companies, excluding controversial weapons, whatever controversial weapons are, and also excluding Japan. Up after that, we had QAG. So QAG is our agricultural ETF, which is a synthetic ETF. Then we had up after that was UBU. So UBU is our UBS IQ MSCI USA Ethical ETF. So that one's tracking American companies and very similar to the other ethical ETFs. That is X tobacco, X controversial weapons, whatever the hell a controversial weapon is. That was followed up by FDIV. So FDIV is our VanEck Vectors S&P ASX franked dividend ETF. So if you're looking for companies that chase the frank dividends, then that's the one for you. That might not be such a good ETF after the next federal election. The last ETF on the list here for the percentage falls was ETP MPD, which is our physical platinum ETF. So that one holds physical platinum in HSBC Bank somewhere in the US. So let's have a quick look at our top $5 rises for today. Up first is IHVV. IHVV is the iShares S&P 500, and that one tracks the top 500 stocks in America, and that's the hedged variant. Followed up by GDX, and GDX is the Van X Vectors Gold Miners ETF. Then we had Core. So Core is the Global Core Infrastructure ETF, and that follows the 75 least volatile listed infrastructure companies globally in developed markets. So people looking to put a little bit of money into infrastructure, global infrastructure, as well as gold and America. Followed up by IJP. IJP is the iShares MSCI Japan ETF, not global anything. It's just focused on Japan. Then we had ETP Mag. ETP Mag tracks your physical silver. So that one there, if you purchase that one, you've got rights to physical silver held in the HSBC Bank in the US. So looking at sort of mirroring the commodities movements, gold, and sort of other precious metals, silver as well, sort of on the up. So our top $5 falls, we had our physical palladium ETF. Once again, that is backed up by physical palladium held in the States in HSBC. Then we had SPY. SPY is S&P 500 ETF. That's State Street Spider. Followed up by IVV, which is the iShares S&P 500 ETF. So States tracking a bit of money. I mean, when you look at the percentages of rises, it's quite low. ETFs, the lighter ETFs, track lower volatility. Sorry. After that, we had UBP. So UPB is UBS IQ MSCI Asia Apex 500 Ethical ETF, and that's a mouthful. And that one, as mentioned before, tracks top 50 biggest companies in Asia, ex-Japan, because it's an ethical ETF, ex-tobacco and ex-controversial weapons. Top 5 number of trades. Looking for all the big guys again, so all those ETFs that sit in the top 14, 15 largest on the market. So first up we had IVV, which is our iShares S&P 500 ETF, followed up by Vanguard US Total Market ETF. And then we had IEM, which is a new one for me, I think. Oh no, that one tracks the iShares MSCI Emerging Markets. That one tracks your 21 emerging markets. Then we had VAS. So VAS is our Vanguard Australian Share Index, and that one's S&P ASX 300. So just a little bit of a variant where the majority of them track the top 200. VEU is our all-world ex-America share index, and that's from Vanguard. So, pretty much 4 out of the 5 are quite large ETFs. Top 5 in volume. We have not a great deal of volume. I mean, on some of the other days, the big days, we get millions going through, but today Asia had the most volume going through, so that's our Asia Technology Tiger ETF from BetaShares, and that tracks the top 50 technology and online retail stocks in the States. Followed up by IOZ, which is the iShares Core S&P ASX 200 ETF. Then we had NDQ, and NDQ is our BetaShares NASDAQ 100 ETF, tracking the 100 biggest companies on the NASDAQ. Then we had ETHI, so that is the BetaShares Global Sustainability Leaders ETF. That one tracks the NASDAQ Futures Global Sustainability Leaders Index, so it's a quasi ethical investment ETF. So we had Vanguard again, so with VAS, which is our Australian Shares Index, so that one tracks the S&P ASX 300. Got about 3.4 billion of value in that ETF. Top 5 value, we had IVV. IVV is our iShares S&P 500 ETF. Up after that, we had Vanguard Australian Share Index ETF, tracks the top ASX 300. Then after that, we had our iShares S&P ASX 200, so that's another ASX 200 tracker. Then we had, after that, we had iShares Asia 50, and that one tracks the 50 biggest companies in Asia. Then followed by AAA, and that's our high interest cash ETF. So not a great deal of value going through today. I mean, the trades and the volumes all look pretty standard. So IVV had $2.7 million through today, so nothing overly exciting. So as always, information purposes only. Make sure we make purchases or anything like that. The whole idea of this is to give you guys information and more confidence to go and crack your own financial sky. Finances aren't really that complicated. You just have to have the knowledge, and that knowledge comes by getting out and reading and doing some research, listening to YouTube videos, and reading ebooks, buying books. If you like what I'm doing, give us a thumbs up, subscribe. Thanks, everyone.